And we're live. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Geek Out Live. I'm Andrea. This is
I,
Dan, who's losing his voice. Poor guy. He's hanging in there like
um,
a champ.
it's only been like 3 weeks today, I think, since I started getting sick, and it's getting better. It kind of comes and goes. We'll see. Halfway
Yeah.
through, it might just be gone.
I feel like
Let's see what
it's on
happens.
the mend. Oops. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's not what we wanted. Okay, so I'm just pulling up Facebook so we can see any comments. If you guys are coming in and viewing live, give us a hashtag live. If you're coming in on the replay, give us a hashtag replay. We'd love to just celebrate you. So okay, we are live. I got the stream going. Sweet. So we've had a big week this week with the Secrets of Success launch, which we've been really deep into. Super exciting. And so we are going to talk about that today. And then we've also been doing a bunch of working sessions, just trying to build in 2.0, which has been quite quite fun. And sorry, Gabby decided to join us today too. Dan, I should have introduced her. Sorry, Gabs.
I'm sorry, the kitty cat. Okay. Well, at least
Yeah.
there's not one behind you staring at you today. Oh wait, here
Nope.
comes my kitty cat.
There we
So
go.
we got two. We got two cats here now, so we're
It's a
good to
cat
go.
fest. I love it. Okay, so let's dive into Secrets of Success. So I'm gonna just share the sales page because first of all, can we just I gotta say it's gorgeous. I love the branding. I think they just did fantastic. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So if we come in, this is the main sales page. Can you see that okay, Dan?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, this is the main sales page. It's just, I mean, such awesome branding. Really great job on the design. This is a countdown timer that will eventually elapse in order to get this offer. And of course, like this is Russell's story of how he went around the country world collecting all these really rare books, and he eventually bought, I mean, I think he said 15,000 is right now the collection, and what launched him into this. And for those of you who have not been following, the essence of it is that he's created a library, where he's got like a makeshift library, and then he's building a formal library called Atlas Library, which is all about this lineage of thought around motivation and personal development, and where do these ideas come from. And he's basically traced back the lineage of some of these concepts through rare manuscripts and books, and he's just been on this journey to get to the root of where do these ideas come from and how do we think about success. It's so cool. It's really very, very cool. Dan, would you add anything on there?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so many terms for what he's really collecting here. Some people call it the New Thought movement. Some people call it metaphysics. There's a lot of different terms and a lot of different ways that this has been put out to the world and sold over the years. Anybody who's familiar with the old, what they call LGATs, large group awareness trainings, even Tony Robbins kind of stuff, that's where a lot of where a lot of those things came from, was from these original teaching. So if you were involved with Psi seminars or Landmark or LifeSpring or EST or what's the other word they have for Landmark? Landmark, they always call it something else, something Landmark. Either way, any of those big organizations like that, a lot of the training, a lot of the stuff started off in the early 1800s and was really, for what we know today, was really packaged together for the first time full scale by Napoleon Hill around about 1925. And that's the book that Russell shows here, the book that he flies to Arkansas to purchase. He originally sees the book on sale on eBay for $1.5 million. Now, I say book, I think there's at least 12 books. They're small, they're almost pamphlets. I mean, you can see them right there in the picture. And then they're showing on the screen at the very top of the screen there. They were showing it. But they're just tiny little books. And I mean, I really cannot wait to hear, and I would prefer even to get my hands on at least a duplicate of these to read them, because this, according to Kevin Trudeau, is the unadulterated thoughts of Napoleon Hill before the publishers. And even, he says, I think it was Henry Ford came in and forced them to dumb this down, to take out the really good bits because they didn't want this let out to the world. And now whether Kevin Trudeau, that was just purely hyperbole or not, I don't know. He could have been making it up. He's a showman. Trudeau is for sure. So we don't know where the truth lies there, but this is some of Hill's earliest works, the 1925's Law of Success. He had written some stuff before that, and part of it was like Napoleon Hill's Golden Rule magazine and other things like that in the 19-teens. But is the stuff here from the 20s that most people are aware of. And I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day. He's like, "Oh, yeah, I've read Think and Grow Rich," and he actually told me that the only book Napoleon Hill ever wrote was Think and Grow Rich. I'm like, going, "Are you kidding me? I got like 6 Napoleon Hill books on the shelf behind me here." He wrote a ton of stuff. He was prolific. He was a prolific writer, and he wasn't the one that came up with this stuff. It all came from other places, and he even says it came from all these other great thinkers of the time. Now, whether he interviewed these people or not is questionable from a historic standpoint, but he certainly got it from them and compiled it in a way that no one else ever has.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think the other thing too, in case anybody's wondering, it is built on 2.0. And yeah, it's just we can dive into that more. But yeah, super fun, super exciting. All of him like opening all of these books. Yeah, it's awesome.
I would say with this documentary, whether you're interested in buying the program or not, and truthfully, you can get into a 30-day trial for this program and not pay a single dime. You can join the affiliate program for this, make 40% commission, and not pay a single dime. I said to my wife the other day, I said, I have never seen an MLM, and this is not an MLM, but there's 2 tiers here, not like 7 or 8 like most MLMs have. But I said, I've never seen an MLM that it didn't cost you $1,000 to get in.
Yeah.
And here you can get into this 2 levels, one you and 1 tier below you that you get paid out on. You can get in here for absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So
Dan,
no matter what you're doing.
Dan, look at this. This just opened up today. So they now have the Bibliomania, watch the movie, but now they have the Join the Community. So I'm super curious if this is a 2.0 community.
I've been inside the membership area. So yeah,
no. Okay, so that's just joining the membership. Got it. So he called it community. That's interesting. Okay.
Oh no, there's a community inside. They're using the community feature, community feature inside of 2.0 now for the membership. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, so this is inside of the area, right? Yep. And they put that in there. So yeah, I want to be respectful of the people in here, but yeah, so kind of cool. This is there's a study hall and how to get anything. Yeah, super interesting.
And I forget the name of the gal you were just on her book there, How to Get Anything You Want. She was a thought leader back in the 1850s for the women's suffrage movement. And so she went around the country and talked to hundreds of thousands, if not millions, I think it was even millions of women, and taught them those secrets. So if you go back to, I think it was a study hall you clicked on, is where that book popped up, or How to Get Anything You Want. Well, there you go. It's the one on the left-hand side. And what Russell has is it is not even a complete set, but he has like the only existing set of these books that she used to give out. You see it right there on the left-hand side. Mm-hmm. She used to give out those books at her, basically what were conferences. So she'd have conferences and this is the 1850s, and have a bunch of women showing up and talking to them about empowerment. And she would give them these little books, and there was like a set of a dozen of them. And Russell has like 11 of the 12. And he cannot find the last one. And they're like supposedly the only ones left on the planet. And that's so, amazing. I mean, he's managed to collect some of the most rare books from Napoleon Hill, from this gal, from other people that exist in the world.
What I think is so interesting about this is in the study hall, right? There's a growth and a mastery program. So these are programs. And then there's this study hall concept. And this is where we are coming into a new experience that Russell's putting out, which is really interesting. And that is this credit thing. So you'll notice here that if I click on this, do you see? You'll need to use a credit. So it's like this concept of I have credits to use, and I'm going to use them doing the book club, right? So super interesting. So this is the November book club. And so then I would, go, I guess the training schedule is per the book
Yeah,
club experience.
if you
Yeah.
go to if you click to November, then you'll see where the training starts in November for the
Mhm.
book club.
Yeah. So super interesting that, yeah. So Whitney Dixon. Yeah. So interesting. So basically that'll be let's learn her training. The first person, her name is escaping me right now. Benedict,
So,
right?
yeah, I was gonna say if you go to which page is it? Oh, it's the library. If you go to the library page, it'll show all the ones that are currently loaded up in here.
Oh yeah. And look at that. You have 3 credits. It's so interesting. Which is really exciting as just a gamification play that we can use. Oh yeah, it's 2 courses available, 1 course, 6 courses. So
Yeah, so the first one's going to be Elsie Lincoln Benedict, who I was just speaking of.
mhm.
So any women who are in that space and want to learn from a master and be able to teach it, pass it on to her students in the I'll just call it the women's suffrage space, even though clearly it's not that anymore. Uh, um, that would be probably something to pay close attention to.
What's really interesting about this is we don't really know like how do credits work, right? So like we're paying a monthly for this, but then it's like, do you pay in addition to get access to things? And then it's really interesting. It's like, what is included in the 97 versus what do I need to pay credits for?
Well, I think when you click on one of those, it's going to say you need a credit. So,
Right. It does. Yeah, it does. So
and
the training.
I have not seen if Jamie built any kind of mechanism in there where you can buy additional credits or not. So I don't
Right.
know about that.
Right. So interesting. Oh, can't wait to learn more about that. But yeah, and then he has paid courses, which I'm assuming are um part of the membership, it looks like.
Yeah. So the master key there. Okay. So when you went through the purchase process, you did not buy the $97 bump.
Uh
I can tell by where it was sitting on the page.
oh, okay.
I mean,
So this
unless
is
you bought it and you didn't get credit for it for some reason. But yeah, if you go back to paid courses, you're going to see it's below the line.
but it
So
looks
go
like I
back
have
there.
access to it.
So click on it and see if you do have access to it. No, the one on the bottom, the master key
Oh, okay.
success was the. Oh, so you do have. So maybe you did pay for it. I didn't think mine was set up like that. Maybe it is. Maybe there's a little header above it. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, super exciting. And then I'm wondering like, okay, where did we land now? So we're in the master key system. How do we get back to maybe it's
Well,
this?
yeah, I ran into that last night, and I was thinking in terms of ones that we're building. It's like, okay, we got to make sure we don't send people down a dead end like that.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, you could click the image in the top left corner, but you don't necessarily know that. But why don't you go back to the sales page? Has that thing timed out yet? Hopefully, we can move
Oh,
on to
yeah.
the next page. So that's what. So we still got 255 left. So in the video up above, like I said, it's definitely worth a watch. It's about 17 minutes. It's very well produced, and it's about Russell meeting up with this guy in Arkansas. If you scroll back up on the screen, we're meeting with this guy in Arkansas who had just vaults full of old Napoleon Hill stuff, and yeah, Russell walks out of there. I think in the end he paid like $2.6 million for
Mhm.
everything that he bought from this guy that day. He basically bought everything.
That's so crazy. Can you imagine like how many years upon years this guy's just collecting this stuff and all of a sudden Russell Brunson enters his life and he's like $2.6 million richer. Like that's just mind-blowing to me.
He had been looking to get rid of it because he was advertising the 1925 version of Law of Success on eBay. So clearly he was looking to get rid of it. And so Russell shows up and he sees he's a guy who's serious and is going to take care of the stuff. And so he pulled stuff out that he was not planning on showing Russell.
Yeah.
And he goes, you can have this too. So one of the things is that mental dynamite right there. You just saw the little blue book on there. he pulled out like the only known complete set still on Earth. That I think was Napoleon Hill's personal copy, and sold that to Russell for that one actually I thought went cheap. I think that went for like $280,000. And I was like,
just wow. Change.
That's cheap compared to what he paid for the rest of the stuff, because he was paying $5,000 a page for some of these manuscripts.
Yeah,
the manuscript that people have access to at the end here for the Hand of Destiny. He paid $5,000 a page for that. That book, this guy would charge people $10,000 a day to come in and read that book, Hand of Destiny.
Yeah, that's insane.
Crazy. And most people don't know what the Hand of Destiny is. It's actually Napoleon Hill's autobiography. Like chapter 1, like the first part of his autobiography that he wrote probably sometime in the 1930s. Yeah, he wrote 2 phases of his autobiography. There was a later one, I forget what it was called. And then they say that the third installment of his autobiography, because they've never found anything else, is the last book he ever wrote, which was in the late 1960s, because Hill died in 1970. He wrote a book called Grow Rich. Was it Grow Rich with Peace of Mind? I think is the name of it. I got it sitting on the shelf over there. It's Grow Rich with Peace of Mind. And what it was actually was, I was talking earlier about the large group awareness trainings. Psi Seminars was one of the early ones that was an offshoot of a company called Mind Dynamics, started by William Penpatrick and Alexander Everett back in the 1960s. They were the genesis that created all the rest of them coming after. Like I said, Landmark Forum, everything like that, all came from those. And what they did is, there's the $2.685 million is what he paid. They were all so what William Penpatrick did is he commissioned Napoleon Hill to write a book, and it was Grow Rich with Peace of Mind, the last book ever written by Napoleon Hill.
That's so interesting. Yeah. I think what's the coolest part about this video, Dan, that when I watched it, was that very rarely do we get Russell being sold to, you know what I mean? And like, that was, there was just this extra like meta layer of like, how do you sell to like the most skilled marketer on the planet?
Right. He kind of gave him the takeaway close on the Mental Dynamite. Because it was like, oh yeah, well, if I'll have to reach out to the guy who has the copy of those books. He might be willing to sell it. So, I have a condensed version of it here, actually rewritten by Andrew Carnegie, I think is how it worked. It's an interesting story behind that book too, but I'll have to research it more because I kind of forget what the story is. Either way, so here we go. Finally, after 17 minutes of us riffing here, we finally get to the point where you can go to the next page. Right. And on the next page, you will have the opportunity to buy the Mifke. And you don't buy the Mifke, you get the Mifke free, but it's $29.95 for shipping, if you so choose. The nice thing here is they don't make you have to buy the Mifke. You can click the box and say, I don't want to pay for it. And so you don't get banged out at all then. And then they get these extra videos here for $97 of Napoleon Hill. It's some stuff that was made in the 1950s. And Hill's actually pretty old already by that point. He was born in like 1883 or something like that. I forget. It's somewhere in that area. But so that's the Mifke. And I have right here behind me, I was fortunate enough to get access to this way early. In fact, they just sent it to me one day, a couple weeks ago. So here's the box that it comes in, and this is what people get for their box when they agree to have the box shipped to them. Then you got Napoleon Hill here, Think and Grow Rich. So this is a reprint of the original book. This was in the public domain. Plus, Russell's working directly with the Napoleon Hill Foundation to do a lot of this stuff. And so then Russell also wrote a foreword to it, right down here, foreword by Russell Brunson. So
that's really cool.
To it in there. And then there's 2 other books that come with it. And I did what I do with a lot of books like this, is I went down to Kinko's and I got it spiral bound, just because it's so much easier if you can like open it up, turn it around, and stuff like that. At least for me, I'm old and half blind now, so us old guys. So that's one of them. Secrets of Master Salesmanship. This one here was one of them that he talks about in a different video. I don't think he talks much about it in here, but this one here pretty much was. I don't think this one might be one of them that was never printed before.
Oh, wow.
The other book here is actually a compilation of articles. There's like 12 different articles that when Napoleon Hill had his Hill's Golden Rule, that was a magazine, and he had his own Mifke for the magazine, which was if you bought an annual subscription to his magazine, he would give you essentially this book. So, but Hill's Golden Rule was not in business for very long at all. And I don't think he had too many takers because at the time, this book, which is, I think it's 16 chapters is what series, 12 lessons. So there's 12 different lessons in here. He was selling this for $50, which is the equivalent of like at least $2,500, $3,000 today. So there aren't a whole lot of people back in what is this here? I forget. There's a date on here. I thought either way, 1919. Yeah, 1919 is copyright on here. So in 1919, there was not a lot of people who had $3,000 to throw out to buy 12 lessons, essentially. And so this has been seen in the past. This has been printed in the past, but apparently there's like no known copies of this in the world. And Russell, again, I think he bought the original transcript, or he got the rights maybe from the Napoleon Hill Foundation. I forget which, because there's so many different stories, to be able to reprint this and be able to give it out to people. So it's all cool stuff. Like I said, this is 1919. So this is way early on, even before Hill wrote the Law of Success. So this is when he was just really cutting his teeth on this stuff. So it's going to be raw and unfiltered.
Yeah. I think what's really interesting too on a lot of this stuff is that just I've looked at this page for quite a bit now, and I mean, first of all, the copy on it is really good in terms of just leaning into the target audience that Russell has been trying to go after for the longest time of being an entrepreneur, but being somebody who is very like rebel and of your own making, and you know what I mean, like be the one to like do it, don't wait, I mean, it's so Russell. And so in the language on this, I feel like I can see why this is the apex right now of what he's bringing into the world, because it does seem to be the culmination of the ClickFunnels and the philosophy and the entrepreneurship, but like that next level of just human performance and what happens in order to really just play at a different game or at a different level. And so like all of this a round peg and a square hole concept, it's such smart copy. So smart.
Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest. I never read any of this because I already knew I was going to buy when I got in there. And I was talking to Doug Bowden yesterday. He said not only did he not read it, he didn't watch any of the videos because he knew he was just going to buy everything anyway. So, they did a great job of pre-selling some of us at least.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's good. I was just more interested in hacking it. I was like, oh, this is so good.
And I'll tell everybody, you got to do, I mean, as I said in one of my emails the other day, do what Russell says. So as you come in here, make sure you screenshot every single page.
Yes.
Make sure you videotape yourself going through this. Make sure you videotape yourself doing the purchase.
Yes.
Because especially if we're playing in the affiliate side of this here, you want to show people you buying the product. You want to show them what it's going to look like when they walk through it and what it's going to feel like when they purchase ahead of time, so they're not scared at all. So they're just going to go in there. But I would say to people, if you're doing that, make sure you hide your credit card number. So.
Yes. And Christopher is watching. So it sounds very Doc Your Journey, Dan. And I think he would totally agree. I think it's very smart.
Well, no, I think I might have stolen his stuff for one of the videos I
did. That's awesome. That's fantastic. So this is the sales page. It's getting you into the main offer. It's just free plus shipping, right? Really long sales page, but great copy, great presentation, just awesome. And so start today, $29.95, free plus
But
shipping, very much similar
I
to his
also
book.
want people to notice how it still follows the format.
Yep.
You put this side by side with any one of his previous sales pages. You put
Yep.
this thing side by side with the perfect webinar. You put this side by side with any of the old Dan Kennedy sales pages, and you're going to see the pattern real fast.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. And then, so after you pay, right, and you get the bump, this is the thank you page. Again, I think they have really upped their game on thank you pages, which I'm so happy to see. So it's not just like a confirmation, here it is, right? It's the check your inbox. And they have now, you can tell that they're growing. And the reason you can tell they're growing is this, find the whitelist, your emails. Email deliverability is increasingly an issue, right? And so you can see this now, like you see this on Tony and Dean's and, Jenna Kuchar's all the time because of just deliverability issues that you experience at a higher volume, as you grow. So anyway, but we can all take from this. So I would just straight up copy this link and do it.
Well, I'm going to have to go back and click on that link if I can find it because, or grab, actually, as long as you're on that page there, can you just grab that link?
Yeah,
off
the whitelist.
And, just grab that link and send it to me because I can't for the life of me figure out how to whitelist somebody inside Outlook. I mean, I haven't Googled it yet, but you click on it and you go, because everything that I get from Russell and virtually everybody ends up in my junk. And I just, whatever. I'll get it.
Yep.
Maybe they got instructions on how to actually make that work. So that'd be cool. Okay, dive into your Stephen Success dashboards. I don't even think I scrolled down this far on the page. So
do you know, is this someone who built it for him? Is that the
this
builder?
gal here?
Yeah.
No, I have a feeling that that's the girl you pulled up before and you said her name is like Nikki or something like that. I think she's going to be the one facilitating the community and facilitating the calls, the book club calls.
Mm-hmm. Now, here's what's really interesting. They don't give us any immediate link to dive into our dashboard, which is what you would want to see, right? But it's in your inbox, I guess.
Yeah, unless there was, what was it above there? Bookmark this.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's funny. They didn't just put it right here too. But
if it's the same thing, you would. Why wouldn't you put it there?
And then you would go right in. So super awesome.
Especially what you got me. Plus, you scroll down to the bottom of the page, and then you're reading this, says dive into it. Well, boom, click, link right there. Makes sense.
Yeah. Now, this brings us to our next topic, though, and that is, so we've been going head first trying to understand how to build in 2.0. So for all of you, and I know Christopher's on the line here, who want to have your course in 2.0, it definitely, just to kind of level set, there's still quite a bit of it in here that is custom code that's not out of the box that you see. I think they're coming a long way, and I think it's getting better, but it's there's still a lot to learn in order to pull something like this off in ClickFunnels 2.0.
There's some coding in here, but on this page here, there's really only one place that that I found the custom code, and we had a heads up on it ahead of time, and so actually, you wish they could build everything out of the box, but they can't, and so that's why sometimes to get it to do what you got to do, we just got to write a little bit of code, and fortunately, I know how to do that. So.
Well, and isn't it great that it's a platform that allows us to do that, right? That's still the differentiator of ClickFunnels, unlike most of the other programs out there. So
again, it's so incredibly flexible, and we can make it do whatever we want most of the time.
Yeah. Yep. And I think we'll probably do later shows where we're really breaking down this new model that we're seeing in a lot of Russell's membership areas. I think it's important to understand and study and how you might make your membership area as well. So, but it's exciting that it's all starting to come together. So,
well, the big thing that people need to realize, and it's something we've just realized recently, is that there's essentially 3 templates. inside the members area, or inside the courses, as they call them. There's really 3 templates in there. And once you figure out how they work and how to make them do what you want them to do, it makes things a lot easier.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily intuitive out of the box. So it took us how many years now to figure out some of this? We're at this point here where we're in a position where we have to build in a couple things in 2.0. So it's like, okay, well, it's time to learn. Figure it out.
Yep. So we're doing it. But it's exciting. I mean, it's exciting. So it's starting to come together. Yes. And I think you have some folks from your group too, Dan, are just saying absolutely. Thanks. Such a good thing to reminder. Yep, absolutely. So if you are not a part of Secrets of Success, the other part of it is that they did offer their affiliate program. So I know Dan has a ton of people in his downline, and it's very MLM, where it's like you can be an affiliate, but then you can hire, or you can get other people to use your affiliate to become an affiliate. And so then there's a credit system that rolls up. So huge opportunity there that a lot of people got really excited about. And so if you have not become an affiliate of the Secrets of Success, I definitely would encourage you to do it. It doesn't take a lot of time. And if you're somebody who can get behind the mission of people learning the thought and the lineage of why we think what we think and why we do what we do and why we push for the things we push for as a society and as a people, it's something pretty cool to get behind. So let me drop, Dan, if you want to talk more about that, because you were really on the cutting edge of all of that.
Of the affiliate program?
Yeah.
Like I said, the affiliate program is pretty simple. It's incredibly generous. And like I said, it costs nothing to get in. So think about if you're joining, I won't name any names, but we all know big name companies. I've joined MLMs in the past, and they usually say, okay, well, if you want to get into the MLM, it's going to cost you $1,000 up front. And we're going to send you this box of stuff that you don't really want them to sell you anyway, because you were sold on the opportunity, not on the product. And I found that with most MLMs, the product is garbage. That's why I've pretty much stayed away from them. I found actually really 2 where one I use, one I don't use, but I've been told by everybody the product is really good. But the rest of them is pretty much garbage. Now, in this case here, we know we have a good proven product. Think and Grow Rich. If you want to just look at it as just that singular thing, and it's not, it's much, much bigger than Think and Grow Rich. But Think and Grow Rich is the #1 selling book in the history of, I'll just say probably the United States. I'm not going to say the world, because certainly the Bible, the Quran, other books like that, I'm sure way exceed the Think and Grow Rich, but it's up there. It is definitely one of the most highly purchased books ever. And plus it's in the public domain, so people are just making copies of it and giving it to people as PDFs and whatever else as well. But it is what started the whole thing. And so there's a lot behind this program. There's a lot in the program. But what I started to say, from an affiliate standpoint, it costs nothing to get in.
Right.
And as we saw, you can get in and do a 30-day trial on it and have it cost you absolutely nothing to do a 30-day trial. So there's absolutely no reason why you wouldn't do both, because you can make money and you get a 30-day test drive to see if you like it or not. If you don't like it, no harm, no foul. You just say after 30 days, no mas, I'm out. It's not for me. Yeah. That's cool. But if you get into the affiliate program, it's 40%. So the upsell on this at the end, the upsell meaning you can pay monthly, $97 a month, or at the end you can pay for 12 months in advance, but get it at $997. So instead of 97 times 12, you get it for $997. You save roughly $150 or something like that. And when you do that, I wish I had an example of the big ginormous book they give you, but we saw it in the videos. And like I said, it was a transcript. A manuscript of Hand of Destiny, handwritten by, not handwritten, typed, but then hand corrected by Napoleon Hill back sometime probably in the 20s or 30s. I maybe there'll be a copyright on this. I'm not sure when we see it. But the way they printed it out is they actually made photocopies of the pages that were typed in an old-fashioned typewriter, of course. So they made copies of that, and that's on the left-hand side of the book. And on the right-hand side of the book is then the typed out version of including all the changes. So you got what Napoleon Hill typed in over here, but then he'll cross it off and he'll write something else in, and then he'll like cut a piece out and like, paste something over the top of it. And so that's what you see on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side is the actual then cleaned up version. For me, when I read the book, I want to read Hill's original version because I want to see what he typed in there and then crossed off. I think that'll be as interesting as anything else, and see the corrections he made, and try to get a glimpse of the thoughts he's having on that. But if you upgrade to the $997 annual plan, you get that big ginormous book mailed to you. And so from an affiliate standpoint, that's where I was going on with this, is you get then 40% of that almost $1,000. So let's just say it's $1,000. 40% of that is $400. You get $400 just for saying, hey, you might want to go check this out. Hey, here's a link. Go check it out. You can sign up for free if you want, and then just let Russell do the selling, because the man's a master salesman. So, and then if you bring in anybody as an affiliate underneath you, you get 10% of all their sales as well. So you get a couple of big guys underneath you with big lists, and they're out there and they're working their list, especially guys in MLMs. Guys in MLMs love this kind of stuff because it's all mindset stuff in MLMs. And so they're going to love that. And so you get involved with them. They're banging it out to their people. You're not doing a thing. And all of a sudden you get a $997 sale. You make $99.70 off of that. So every month, there's somebody out there working on your behalf, and here comes $100 and another $100 and another $100 and another $100, and you didn't do anything. But suddenly you get a check in the mail for $500. Well, they don't mail checks anymore, but you get a check, you get a direct, you get a direct deposit or whatever. So, excuse me, I'm dying here. But you get that, $500, and you go, what did I do? Oh, I did nothing except I signed somebody up as an affiliate.
You were ahead of the curve. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's just, I think it's without a doubt the best non-MLM I've ever seen. Yeah. Without a doubt. Best That's product and best pay scale. Because there ain't an MLM out there that pays 40% on the products they sell.
Right.
Unless you are like top person and you got 100,000 people underneath you. Maybe then you're getting 40%, but I doubt that even.
Right. Yes. Yep. 100%. Yeah. And it's awesome. It's like kind of like you said, kind of a no-brainer. But.
Yeah, it is. I mean, free.
Right.
Costs nothing. And you can make 40% plus 10.
Right.
I don't know why anybody wouldn't sign up. If nothing else, sign up and you tell 3 friends about it, and they tell 3 friends, and they tell 3 friends. Isn't there a commercial like that? And, pretty soon everybody in the world is underneath you.
Yep. So. Yep. Yep, absolutely. So, okay. So I think then for everybody if you are interested to learn more, we have in the display, if you want to be an affiliate, if you're interested in just purchasing it, then we have our GeekOut link there, which is just geekout.com/SOS. So really exciting. We have also been talking a lot about, if you are a part of Secrets of Success, we might do our own special sessions where we're trying to incorporate it and dive deeper into it, mastermind type of style. So we'll offer some of those additional benefits for anybody who wants to go through our links. So, and
also we started a Facebook group, which Andrea may not even know about yet, because it's really hasn't gotten started too much because the cart just opened on this yesterday. But there is a Facebook group that we set up. So anybody who purchases from me or is an affiliate underneath me, and the affiliates underneath them can join this Facebook group. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be talking about ideas on marketing this thing, but I'm sure we'll probably also be talking about what's in the program too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then I think we just have one more public service announcement, and that is, if you guys are following us, you might have noticed on our respective Facebook areas, a new banner. And Dan, do you have your banner up?
Do I have a banner up?
The banner. Do you have the banner? So for the geeks, you'll see this new banner on all of our Facebook group or all around Facebook. And this is us beginning to start the launch of our next challenge to get into our Geek Out Academy Level 2 program. So this is, if you guys can guess what those question marks are, the fun begins. And if you are interested to get onto the wait list of our challenge, I will drop the link right here. I'll drop it in the chat and we'll go ahead and share that out. So if you are interested in joining the challenge, again, you'll start to see these types of graphics in a lot of different places. And we look forward to diving into exactly what those question marks are during the challenge. So join the wait list. It will be in November, and you can be the first one to know as soon as it's ready to launch.
I got a question. So what are the big guys getting wrong?
Dan, this is the open loop. We're doing marketing now. Stay tuned.
Caused me to have a question in my mind, which it now cannot be answered, and so now I'm going to have to find out.
What?
Is that how that works?
I think so. I think that's how that works.
And then you also have to get their heads nodding up and down like this too. So yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yes,
so,
yes, yes,
they're
yes,
not, they're not looking like a bobblehead on the dash of your car when you're going down a country road. You're not winning. So
exactly. Exactly.
I just made that up.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, I think we will go ahead and sign off. Happy Friday to everybody. We've got a Geek Out workshop later today. We're diving into the Facebook Nexus, and our geeks are just working on launching, which is really exciting. So we're going to go ahead and go to town. But hope everybody has a wonderful Friday. Thank you, Dan, and thank you to Dan's voice for staying in there. And we will.
Shocked.
I love it. We'll catch you guys into our group. Take care.